Welcome to the Hardly Heroes Podcast.
High above the city, they shine in my spotlight. Commissioner on the rooftop, double H in the night sky. For the sidekicks we fight, for the right crosses we throw. For the ninjas we injure, revenge on our foes. From crime alleys to radioactive insects, genetic mutations. Weapon X rejects our infinite Ursa in crisis. The walls are civil but secret. Here come Buddy, Manny, and Aaron, blaring through your speakers. Yeah, Hardly Heroes. It's clobbering time.
Welcome to Hardly Heroes, a podcast dedicated to movies, TV, and everything geek-related. I'm your host, Buddy.
I'm Logan.
And I'm Aaron.
And we have a special guest.
We do.
First, actually, you would say second guest in HHQ. Because that's where we're coming live from today.
From the HHQ.
I don't think
You
that's
don't
ever...
like it?
No, it's just awesome. It's just funny. I love it.
I love the name.
It's good. It's good.
I'm steamed up about it.
Of course you
It's
are.
the Hardly headquarters.
Hey-o.
We have Chris Velazquez
Hey.
here. I almost said your name wrong, didn't I?
Almost.
Oh.
Almost. No,
I
it's
was
okay,
like
it's okay.
going to blurt it out, and I was like, "Oh wait, am I saying this right?"
No,
I've said it a
it's-
million
yeah.
times.
1,000 people get my last name wrong, which just amazes me because we live in the Central Valley and there's a whole bunch of
Right.
Velasquez around.
Mm-hmm.
But it rolls off the tongue.
So-
It's okay.
I say it all the time, you know.
For everybody
Maybe
out
when
there
I'm going to bed.
that may not be familiar with Chris, Chris is a friend of the show, actually, that we met back in Merced when we went to our very first Colossus Girl Con.
Way back.
Which was, what was the name of that? Merced Con, we call it all that. What's the name
It was
of it?
the California Republic Comic Con.
California Republic
yeah.
Comic Con. Yeah, that's actually kind of one of my favorite Hardly Hero stories. I remember Manny was working our table at the con, and Chris came up and he just kind of started doing his spiel and was like, "Hey, do you listen to podcasts?" And Chris goes, "I listen to your guys' podcast."
That was
Yeah.
You know, it was fun. It was one of the
That
first
was
times that
good.
we kind of, we went out and found someone cool that we didn't know that listened to Hardly Heroes.
Can I just tell you something that's totally going to blow your mind? Don't remember that con at all.
what?
That doesn't
I'm
blow
trying
my
to...
mind.
I remember being in the auditorium where the film festival was going on,
Uh,
but I can't remember for the life of me anything else about that con.
I guess that makes. I guess that's good on my part because
Yeah.
that means at my film festival.
Right.
Well, because
So-
when
But it
you,
was a really good con. I liked it. I walked
I had
around
a
and stuff
blast.
like that.
when
at
you
that
said
it was,
that
it was fun.
when you said that Manny was man in the booth, I'm like, I thought me and Brandon were man in the booth. That was a different con.
That was at Campbell.
Mhm.
I know.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I
When you do enough of them, they blur.
yeah.
So you're just like, oh, was it that one?
Dude, but that one was. I remember watching the films that you did was
Yeah.
freaking awesome.
Right. And yeah, so that film festival that we're talking about actually is like Chris put that whole thing on for the con in Merced, and one of the things that he's here to chat with us about today, besides all the projects he's working on and what he's been up to making movies, because that's what he does for a living, is what's going to be going on for the next film festival at
Yeah.
the con in Merced in September.
Yeah, so we're doing the second year at this one at the California Republic Comic Con. It's going to be September 15th. And so right now on Film Freeway, it's open for submission. So if anybody's listening to this, if you guys are a filmmaker or if you guys have family members that are filmmakers, or if you guys want to make a film, just for the heck of it, submissions are open until August 25th, I believe. And then you guys can go on there and submit your film and stuff like that. And we don't really have a criteria, like a limit. It's basically if you can fit it in 10 minutes, you can make whatever you want as long as it's kind of family friendly or at least like PG-13-ish, right? And then you guys can put it in there and stuff like that. And you guys can film it on an iPhone or professional camera, professional gear. It does not matter because I know there's a lot of filmmakers that I know that don't have access to expensive gear. So we tried to make our film festival more like open to everyone who could submit. And last year we got films from all over the world, from Germany, from France, from like everywhere. And everything,
awesome.
yeah, it was everything from people doing films on their home video camera or their iPhone to people using professional industry stuff. That we had a Pirates of the Caribbean fan film that was
one,
insane.
That was one that I watched.
Yeah.
It was French, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was in French.
Oh,
it was
that was really
insane.
good.
And the guy that put it together, I've been keeping in contact with him, and he has another film that he's possibly going to be putting into our festival this year.
Oh wow,
That's great.
Yeah, and he's been working on a lot of stuff, and he's been, the connections you make with these festivals are really, really cool. And if you want to get into the film industry, this is a good start because our festival is not. I mean, I don't want to say all festivals are like this, but there is some festivals that are like kind of biased, or they're kind of like controlled by people who know people.
Maybe a little uppity.
Exactly. So it's kind of one of those things where like, oh, we're going to give benefits to our friends versus a random stranger or someone who's starting out. So our festival was designed
A little
so
pretentious.
Nice.
Not yours.
No, but yeah.
Are we gonna see your daughter up on the screen again?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
We actually, I have not talked about this until this moment actually, but we are actually premiering the first episode of Marceline, the TV show.
yes.
At the
Yes.
festival. And we're actually currently at the moment, we're actually putting the series together, and I actually have contacts with Netflix and other people that we're talking to.
Yeah.
So I'm right now we're just talking and stuff, but I'm trying to get I'm trying to get the first season and everything, the first episodes and stuff done, so that way I can kind of properly pitch everything. So I'm hoping within the year or maybe a little longer than that and stuff down the road, someone will be like, hey, here's some money, make a series.
That's freaking
And then
awesome.
everybody can enjoy it on streaming service. So
There we go.
And you guys saw the Marceline that he played.
Bless you.
Excuse me, at the last film festival.
Correct.
didn't
Yes.
you? Yeah. What was the plot line of that again?
About
It's
imagination.
imagination.
Yeah.
Right.
A kid's imagination.
Well, it was so much fun to watch. You know what I mean? It totally brought me back to being a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like,
so like 3 weeks ago?
no, it's actually 2.5 weeks ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know what I mean? I've done a lot of growing up since then.
Yeah,
so.
you got your hair cut on your own.
I did it myself, actually.
I do that every month.
But it was just so much fun. And then, seeing, the relationship between you guys was just so much fun. And seeing, she's just a very, I don't know, she's
a
shows
character.
so much emotion in her face. It's so funny. So
Yeah, our series, the way we're structuring the series is it's the same premise as far as a kid's imagination and how it's overreacting. But as the series goes on, we're actually going to implement certain things that actually make it to where, is it really her imagination, or are you actually seeing things that are actually happening? Because in the series, we introduce her grandfather, who is an archaeologist. So he has like a lot of antiques from all over the world, and she could find a magic amulet. You never
That's
really know.
funny.
And then her dad, who is my character, every time you see him in some of the episodes, every time he goes to work, we're actually doing a TV show that is actually more of an adult comedy called Delivery Boys.
I remember you
that
telling
we're
me
doing
that.
it. We have actually filmed the first 2 episodes, so we're doing it simultaneously. So it's more like if you're into adult humor and really funny stuff, you don't mind cussing and stuff, that's the show for you.
Nice.
And if for kids show is that one, and they're linked by the same characters. The characters exist.
That's
crossover
cool.
in
I
each
really
show.
like that.
Pretty good.
And so we're putting all that stuff together, and like the first episode that we're doing, they're all themed, but we're trying to keep away from copyright. So we're not really using Star Wars. Or like in the original Marceline short, we used Star Wars. We used it Pirates of the Caribbean. This one we're using more along the theme of like superheroes, or the theme of like cartoon world, or the theme kind of something that we can pitch the show to a bigger studio and be like, this is something you can do. And then if someone ever takes it up, like for example Disney, they put their own stuff into it and do it their own way. You know what I mean? Like our first episode is actually an anime-based episode.
Oh, that
So
would be fun.
it's Marceline actually grabbing something that she's not supposed to, and then she basically plays with it, and then when she loses it in her imagination, a demon comes and takes it and jumps into a well in her backyard, and she jumps after it, and she ends up pretty much in the world of Dragon Ball Z and Yasha, all those stuff like that.
That is so cool.
Yeah, so that's the first episode, and that's when we're premiering at the festival.
Oh,
And
I'm
I'm really
excited.
excited for that one.
That's freaking awesome.
It's going to be
Yeah,
fun.
me and my wife are super anime fans, so we're just like
Sounds like it's how you get into a lot of your adventures, Aaron. Touching things you're not supposed to.
Well, yeah.
jumping in
that's
the wells in
exactly-
the backyard.
Yeah. When is the adult one gonna premiere?
So that one, the first episode, we're actually going to be premiering that one strictly on YouTube, and then we're also going to be packaging that and trying to sell it to Netflix, other places.
Yeah.
But that one's actually going to be available for the public right away. So we're actually that first episode's going to be actually premiering in September alongside
nice.
the festival. So we're not actually going to show that one at the
I
festival.
didn't think so.
Yeah, because the first episode, like right out the gate, there's a fight between 2 characters, and there's a very vulgar character called Mad Max in our show that is based on a real person in real life who is. It's a big story, but basically the premise of the show revolves around my dad in real life owns a pharmacy, and so me and my brothers, we for years before I got into the filmmaking professionally and stuff like that, we were delivery boys. We would deliver medication to elderly people to different places around the city, and throughout those years we've met a lot of people and we've made a lot of friends, and we've learned stories about how crazy people's lives are. So we basically sat down and wrote a film that turned into a miniseries about crazy antics and things that people go through when you're trying to deliver medication. You run into, well, it hasn't happened in real life, but there's some people that have influenced characters. So like you run into gang members that are trying to steal your medication. You run into crazy senile people who are trying to shoot you on your front porch because they don't know you're delivering medication. You run into, you run into a lot of cool stuff, but it's all the names are made up. All the stories are made up. They're just influenced by funny stories or funny things that have happened in real life.
Dramatization.
Exactly.
Well, I mean,
heavy dramatization.
Probably 80% of his stories come to Aaron. You know what I mean? Because Aaron's like an 80-year-old man on the inside,
which is weird because I'm a caregiver for an 87-year-old man. Exactly. I think that's why we get along so well.
There you go.
I'm pretty sure.
There
Ding,
you
ding.
go.
No, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to the premiere. So.
Yeah, I have a really bad tendency of like connecting my films, of like putting a character in one film that exists in my other.
So that's not a bad tendency. I love that.
For me, it is because like in the back of my head, like I always figure out a way to write it in, and then when I'm gonna write a sequel, I'm like, shit, I use this person in this, and so it's like that's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to be like, okay, this person died in this timeline already. Okay, I can't use this person. I have to create a new person.
That just gets your creative juices flowing more. It just makes you more creative.
So you don't hit a, you don't hit a brick wall. I guess.
I don't recommend doing that either.
No, that's bad.
It's rough.
Yes.
Rough.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. So
I'm excited.
What else do we got on the docket today?
Well, we got Solo review coming up as promised from last week.
Yep.
Another movie.
Did we all see it?
Yes,
we did.
A little wrap up of last week.
Oh,
we talked about Deadpool.
We did. I went and saw that actually. I double teamed it. Teamed it with
You double
Solo.
So
Solo and Deadpool same day.
You dipped a chip
and then
took a bite and then dipped again.
Hold on. Now, which did you dip first?
Solo.
So you put a little bit of the dip. You dipped a little bit in the Solo. You took it out, ate it, and then dipped again into Deadpool. That's probably
full
it's
scoop.
the proper order.
It's probably good
it's
because
probably the proper
Deadpool would have tainted Solo.
Agreed.
I think.
Agreed.
Deadpool is just gross, and it has like hair in it.
Dirty.
Oh, it's bad.
Like you got to go home and shower after you watch Deadpool.
Yeah, you got to take. You got to dip into Deadpool. Go take a bleach bath. And then you can go see Solo, but then you'll still have like
but I think you'd even need like you need some time to decompress.
This is true
from Deadpool. You don't just walk right in.
It's
I do concur with all of it. I was like, you know what killed me though? You guys, you talked about all the cameos, the Brad Pitt, the Alan Tudyk, the Matt Damon. You know how many I saw?
7.
0.
What?
I wasn't ready for any of. I just.
How did you not see Brad Pitt? That one was amazing.
It's 8 frames.
It's literally a second.
How are you gonna yell at me for 8 frames? I was like
you could blink and miss it, literally.
I went back and looked up later. I couldn't remember who he was. I listened to the episode again after I listened to the movie, and I was like, okay, yep. I do remember when that guy showed up for 1 second. And
I did miss Brad Pitt though. Or not Brad Pitt. Sorry, Matt Damon.
Well, they were heavily in prosthetics.
Yeah, that one you couldn't see.
You could, and it was dark in the scene. Dark, but but it was. Yeah. I'm glad you went and saw it.
It was a good movie. I was impressed. Like the action was awesome, and I thought it was really it impressed me how the cable character was serious the entire time. Like he didn't crack a joke. He didn't flinch at all, and you could actually put that together with Deadpool and have it be awesome action and hilarious and sarcastic at the same time.
Yeah, it was great.
And equally disturbing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So a few of the little jokes we didn't... So they called back a lot to the first movie because in the first movie he says, I have somewhere to his blind roommate, he says, somewhere in this house I have a cure for blindness. And when he goes and he opens... This isn't a big spoiler. He opens up a hatch in the floor and he has this huge ass bag of cocaine and right next to it, it's another big bag of cocaine with written on it, "Cure for blindness."
I did see that.
That
was a good one.
Man.
Yeah, that movie was really good. I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed the ending parts and stuff
Yeah.
at the end and how they set
yeah.
everything up and stuff. It was really, really good.
That was
Yeah.
good
If
stuff.
if anyone didn't catch last week, we went through a good solid spoiler free review
Oh,
of
yeah.
Deadpool. If you want to get yourself pumped up to go see it,
Now
So
get ready to get
Yeah.
spoiled
check
now.
check out last week. Yeah,
Are
but
we spoiling Solo?
No.
why don't but before we get into Solo, I mean, we talked about the film festival and stuff a little bit, but I'm just curious, like, what other stuff Chris has been up to before you guys got here. We were just chatting about, like, I mean,
We
just
got
what
a lot of stuff.
what
You guys are having
like,
a little chit chat.
Yeah.
Chitty
it
chatty.
just
Chitty chat.
it's cool listening to him kind of just like basically running a film gig from Merced.
Yes.
He's way more interesting than I am.
Well,
he probably can talk better
A
than
lot
I
of
can, too.
people are more interested.
I don't know if
than
I'm
you.
that articulate.
Get a broken brick that's more interesting than me.
That is
Not
true.
even like a nice, clean, new, smooth brick. A broken brick.
So we got so
He moved past it.
He was like, I'm not even
no,
gonna
I'm not.
acknowledge.
No, I'm gonna move past it.
Let me just put the broken brick back where it was.
Put it right back there.
There you go.
You like how he doesn't even look at you? He's like, I don't want to look at him.
Nope. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it.
That's okay.
All right. So we got So I got a few things going on. The top 3 things I guess I can touch on is one of them I'm hosting a free independent film school for filmmakers.
I saw this.
Yes.
This seems so awesome.
So basically, what we're doing is I'm teaming up with the Lions Club in Merced and a few other people and stuff, a few other people in Merced and groups, and we're putting together. It's kind of like a mentorship. So it's going to be alongside other things where there's going to be a mentorship for DJ if young people want to go and learn how to be a DJ. A professional is going to be there teaching them how do you get started, what equipment you need, stuff like that.
That's awesome.
There's going to be a few other things in different. My expertise is going to be film. So there's going to be 3 classes. The first Saturday of July, the first Saturday of August, and the first Saturday of September. And then I'm going to be posting online where exactly they're going to be at. They're going to be in Merced, but for people who can't make it to the Merced, I'm going to have something to where I'm either going to film it or I'm going to have kind of the brief of what the class was online for the previous day. So people can check it out from out of the area and they can look at it.
Nice.
If you can make it out to it, it's recommended because how we're going to do it is the people that can make it out to it's completely free. There's no age limit. So if you're 5 years old or 55 years old and you want to learn how to make a film, you can show up.
That's
Kind of
great.
sign up and
Sweet.
kind of go. And we're going to teach you how to make it with whatever you have at home. So if you have an iPhone, which practically everybody has an iPhone or an Android, whatever.
Yeah, any of the new smartphones, their cameras are so good now.
Right. So we're going to teach them, we're going to focus on any kind of camera you have, whether it's an industry camera, camcorder, DSLR, handheld, whatever, how to make your own film from scratch. So basically how to write it, how to take an idea that's in your head and how to write it, how to produce it, how to put it together. And over the course of the 3 months, people who are there in person, you're going to get specific items. Like the first class and the second class, I'm going to actually hand specific items that you're going to put in your short film. And that proves that you were actually in person at the class. And they're going to make a short film on their own over the course of 3 months. In between the classes, I'm going to have a website set up where people can ask questions like, oh, hey, I have a question. I need to get this kind of shot. What do you suggest?
Right.
And then kind of fill all that stuff out.
That sounds like
it's going to
so
be
much
like a
fun.
correspondence. The last class, we're going to screen all the films for family and friends. The previous day and the next day, they're going to be all online for the world to see, for everyone to see in one spot.
Nice.
And then also the top 3 films, regardless of the person's age, is going to be put into the Violette Film Festival in their own category. So they're going to be competing with films for around the world, and they're going to have their own award. We have a very, very special surprise for the person who wins an award that we're going to announce at the festival. So
Yes.
Dang.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
We got some pretty cool sponsors doing some stuff. So
I should take the class
You
and
should.
do a movie about Aaron's life
Really?
and how it all fell apart.
Do we
Sadness and righteousness.
the story of my butthole?
Exactly.
Someone was gonna get there first. All of us
It
wanted
was
to be
me.
that person.
Well, see, I wanted to set it up. I wanted to be like, "Hey, do you know what I would call that movie?"
Yeah.
And then I would, but you
That's
got you
what-
just cut me off and just said it. You
I
just
wanted
slipped
to
it
be
right in.
first to it.
He saw you spooling up
He did.
and wasn't gonna let you take it down.
That's okay. I forgive him this time.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that I'm being forgiven.
You know what? I'm
it's-
used to it.
I think that
Years of disappointment for me.
I join a long list. It starts with your mom. It ends with Michelle and me.
Woo, that was close. Almost spit out some water.
Sorry about
No,
that.
don't. You can laugh into the
Oh
mic.
no, yeah, no.
We
I
enjoy that.
I laugh really loud. I gotta back away.
Oh man, I'm excited for the classes and the film fest.
I'm really excited
That's
to
gonna
see
be
the
fun.
3 winners.
Yeah, well, the reason we're putting it this way is because it's given incentive for kids to make a film. Because there's going to be some people that are going to go to the class and be like, oh, I want to learn how to do this, but they're not going to do anything because they're going to be like, oh, I don't have a camera. Well, everybody has a smartphone or something they can get. Oh, I don't have editing equipment. Well, if you have access to a computer, there's free editing programs online that I'm going to teach you guys about.
The barriers to making movies now are so
Exactly.
small,
Well,
so
exactly.
And even now, like you know, we live in the age of you know, if you want to put out a web show, anybody
Exactly.
can make a YouTube channel, put out a show every week, every couple weeks, every month. They can do whatever they want.
And we're going to do that. We're going to talk about how to make a YouTube channel
Right.
if they don't know how to do it, where to put your film, how to spread the word on Facebook, what to do, how to submit into a film festival. We're also going to go over legal stuff. So if like you want to go,
always
how
good.
do I get contracts for actors? How do I get people to give me permission to use their property? You know, kind of that kind of stuff.
Pay
Because-
that money.
Yeah,
Pay that
sometimes
money.
sometimes it's pay that money, and sometimes
know.
it's favor. You
Yes,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Like literally 90% of my films when I was starting out was, hey, I will do a free commercial for you if you let me use your office building for
There
a
we
short
go.
film.
I love
and
it.
then down the road, you become friends with a person, and then the person's just like, hey, you making a short film? I'll lend you my place because
Yeah.
it gives them exposure.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like we're gonna go over all that stuff, and then I'm excited to see what people come up with because there's some very talented people that are like under a rock no one knows about.
Oh dear,
Yeah,
get him
this
out
is
of that
their-
rock.
Exactly. This is that thing that gets them up and stuff. And then the other 2 things is we're working on, miniseries and stuff like that that's going to be coming out that's going to entertain everybody. And then I'm also working on a show that I can't really talk about who's putting it out currently at the moment because it's kind of under wraps, but it's a TV show that we went to Florida.
You can tell us. We won't tell anyone.
Well, I haven't
won't tell
actually.
anyone.
Okay, I've talked to the person. I'm allowed to kind of say it, but I'm not. I haven't talked to the people that are putting it
Right.
together and stuff like that to say it just yet.
That's okay.
But it's intended to be a television show where we shot the pilot,
That's
and we had a lot of cool. We had James Hong on the
saw that.
show.
Oh,
I saw a
yeah.
lot of your Facebook
Yeah, we had James
stuff.
Hong.
Yeah, I
we
saw
had,
that. That was cool.
Bill Superfoot Wallace, who is
Yes.
Elvis Presley's personal bodyguard and
That's
stuff
so
like that.
funny.
Yeah, it was insane. Like we went to Florida, we went to LA, we hung out with a lot of people and got interviews and stuff. We did actually the first interview of James Hong in like 5 years.
That's
He has not done an interview in 5 years. And we actually sat down with him at his house and did an interview. And so I'm like sitting behind the camera and I'm just kind of like, this is happening right now. I had to keep pinching myself. It was actually pretty cool. But like
That
that
is
show's
neat.
coming
That's
out
cool.
and everything. And those people are really cool. So I'm going to be spreading the word on that as it gets closer later in the year and stuff like that. So,
I love it.
yeah.
Awesome.
That's gonna be fun.
No, that's cool.
Oh, and also a shout out to my wife who's at home. She's usually like with
I
me
know. I was about to
everywhere.
say, I was-
Yeah, she's at home today with my daughter. My daughter actually is out of school.
Oh,
So
there
yeah,
it
so
is.
she's at home and everything. Kind of, we this past weekend was our anniversary.
Oh,
Happy
We've been together
anniversary.
eight years. So
Nice.
thank you. So like we went out of town and we went to the Queen Mary, did the
Oh,
ghost
okay.
tour.
Oh, how was
awesome.
it?
Oh man, it was awesome.
I was sad your wife didn't come because usually she's on my side.
Oh yeah,
so-
no, she's still on your side.
Okay,
she's just
good.
gonna, she's just from the other side of the,
Okay.
listening and stuff like
Buddy's
that.
always trying to find people that are just like that'll cling to him. Well, she was on my side, so I like her. She's great, and
Well, because you guys are always against me.
Hey,
I have to be.
I haven't.
I know.
I'm
You don't
neutral.
have.
I'm
You don't
neutral.
have to pick sides. It's
I'm neutral.
fine.
Neutral.
Yeah.
It's fine. I
Switzerland.
just try to get people to, pin against these guys.
This
That's
is-
pretty much my MO.
This is true.
I like to stir the pot.
So you guys about ready to get into this Lando movie or what?
Wait.
Oh yeah.
Wait. It's a Solo, a Star Wars story.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry.
Not Lando. That's next.
That's
Solo.
coming up next year.
Bro Solo?
No, Han Brolo.
Oh, Han Brolo.
Han
Okay.
Solo.
Yeah. So I can go through a little bit of like the cast and crew and the
Yeah.
synopsis
Do it,
and
man.
all that
Let's
stuff.
Tell us
start
all
this.
about it.
So, Solo, a Star Wars story. Dude, we got so many people. Alden Ehrenreich as, wait for it, Han Solo. D-Gloves, Lando. Okay, so they have a new Chewbacca. It's not the normal guy who plays Chewbacca. It's a new guy. He's like 20-something. His name is Junes Sutamo. He's 6'11".
Oh yeah.
I'm so close.
If I'm not
man.
mistaken-
I'm so close.
You almost could have been Chewie.
I know.
Yeah.
5 more inches. The
Right.
story of my life.
That's what I say every night. 5 more inches. So Woody Harrelson as Tobias Beckett, not Funke.
Dang it.
Tandy Newton as Val. Paul Bettany as Dryden Voss. Amelia Clark as Quar.
Is it Kira?
Is it Kira or Quar?
Kira.
Quar.
Yeah.
Cra. Coral.
I
so-
think I think they spelled it like that for a reason. but
Amelia
yeah.
Clark is Carl. How do you pronounce that name?
Phoebe.
Is that Phoebe? Man, I'm an
Yeah.
idiot.
Phoebe. I think so. If she's listening to this and I got it wrong,
She's
I'm
not
horribly
listening.
sorry.
Phoebe Waller-Bridges as the droid L337, which I was a fan of. And Warwick Davis.
Oh yeah.
I swore he was dead. I thought he was dead, and then he came up, and I'm like, "That's cool! Oh my god, it's him!"
That was cool.
And it was him. It wasn't. It was the actor.
He was reprising a character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was which was awesome.
Oh,
I
man.
thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
And Johnny Favs
Oh yeah.
Johnny Pav.
as Rio Durant, the monkey. He was a literal monkey, guys. This is me telling you that he played a monkey. Johnny Favs. I don't want to get kicked off the internet. That's all I'm saying.
We don't want ABC
Hashtag
to
Roseanne.
cancel.
So yeah, written by Jonathan Kasdan and Lawrence Kasdan, directed by the Duffer brother. I mean, Ron Howard. No, not the who is the Philip Lord, the Lords. Philip Lord, the Lego Movie guys. They were the original directors.
Oh yeah.
Philip
I
Lord
forgot.
and whatever. But yeah, so Ron Howard with a budget of $250 million. That's pretty penny.
That's a lot.
It is. So yeah, what do we got? We're gonna go through what we all thought and what's going on.
Yeah, let's. I mean, we can
We're
start.
not
We can
spoiling,
start,
right?
No, I think we can try and I think we can do it without. I think we can do it without.
But my first question is, what did Buddy think of it?
Here we go.
It's always hard to gauge with him
It is. I am very
because you loved the first one, the Force Awakens. You
yes, I like
liked,
that.
but Rogue One
Garbage.
didn't like it.
Oh,
Garbage.
interesting. Okay.
So
incorrect.
I know.
Garbage.
So
incorrect.
what did you think of Solo?
Lukewarm. Mediocre at best.
Did you like it
Oh.
more than Rogue One?
Yes, because Rogue One is trash.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Now,
Come
what
on,
bugged
man.
me...
Just try and stay focused.
I
All
know.
right.
I'm
He's
sorry.
trying to get us riled up on
getting all
purpose.
riled
He
up.
knows.
Oh man.
He's trying.
It is very hard because as a whole, this movie gave me nothing.
Well, it's a
Yeah.
heist movie. Like that's it.
Yes, but how they
No, I know.
portrayed it before was it was a telling of Han Solo, how he became Han Solo.
Right.
I don't feel they told anything in this movie. I felt they just kind of were like, hey, here's some cool things you like,
Yeah.
and we're just going to splot it.
Well-
you know what I mean? And you're like, oh, this is awesome.
That
Oh,
was
this
great.
is awesome.
Yeah, I never expected anything, grandiose and just epic. Like I'm glad that it was like I think we needed this from The Last Jedi because The Last Jedi was so
Amazing.
big. It was amazing, but it was big and massive and so many parts coming together. This was a simple heist. I mean, yes, there was more to it, but this was basically a heist movie.
Yeah.
That's a good way to describe it.
And I
too.
like it. To me, it felt as close to the original as we've gotten from any of these new movies.
But like, what bugged me was the whole dice thing.
well,
That was so.
do you remember
like, dumb.
my Han Solo
Yeah.
bingo board?
Yeah.
I mean, they hit everyone.
No, I know, but it was just really,
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like I kept waiting for them to explain those of
No.
what it was,
Just
and nothing.
Lucky
Well,
dice.
Yeah, that's true.
guess.
I enjoyed the movie, but I get your point where you're just like, like you felt like the whole movie didn't deliver on what they were talking about in the first place. But there is 3 points that they did deliver, just not in the way people expected. Like
Yes.
where you got his last name. They
Yes.
explain where you get his last
So
name without
stupid.
spoiling for anybody. They explain where he gets the name Solo.
The dumbest
Right?
thing.
They explain why he shoots first.
I didn't think it was that dumb.
See,
Right.
it didn't bug me completely. I was like, it could have been a little bit better.
Right.
You know, like if he would have been like, what's your last name? And he's just like, Solo. You know what I mean? Like, or something.
Right.
But like, he was just like, let me think. Han Solo. And you're
So-
just
And
like,
what didn't make sense to me is like later on he was talking about his dad. I wasn't close to him.
Yeah.
So it's like he knew where he came from.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
He just didn't want to say it.
Um,
So it's like there's a little bit more of a. I feel like they tried setting up to where if they want to do another Solo movie, not necessarily a Lando movie or a Boba Fett, but like a part 2 to a Han Solo movie.
sure.
They put enough stuff in there to where there's just like, hey, here's another movie, and then plus.
Which I think they're going to do.
Yeah, well, then plus halfway through production, they fire the directors and they get Ron Howard. So I'm pretty sure there was some explanations that they just wrote out.
Yeah, because I liked everything on his, well, I'm guessing his home planet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all of that was really good. Like,
Yeah.
I enjoyed all of it. I liked, the
way it looked and
antagonist,
stuff, yeah.
the look, all of that I thought was really cool. You know, how he's just like, I'm going to be a pilot. I'm going to be the best in the galaxy, all of that.
Mm.
Like, he had all these hopes and dreams, and then it gets a little bit better, but then at the end it falls so flat. And that's where I think I had a really hard time with it, is they started to build it really well. And, the second Lando comes in the movie, I was pumped.
Here's
like,
the thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a dissenting opinion. I like Donald Glover, and I like him as Lando. I think because I had such low expectations for Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo, like I was expecting to hate his portrayal. I think he did a better Han Solo than Donald Glover did a good.
What?
Yeah, I think that was a Donald Glover character, but I don't think to me that wasn't Lando. And I understand we're not getting caricatures of the people that they're playing, but I just didn't feel Lando. I could tell Alden Ehrenreich was doing a very good Han Solo. Like the way he moved his mouth in some ways, the way he pronounced a lot of words was perfect. And I think he did a great job. I think he did a better job doing Han than D. Gloves did doing Lando.
I don't feel that way.
Yeah,
at all.
Lando didn't feel as suave. He felt kind of more cocky and like just
right. But they even came out and they said Donald Glover said that he's not the Lando we know from Cloud City. He's
makes
still
sense.
learning and trying to get
Yeah.
So
comfortable.
he's younger
but-
Lando then, yeah.
A little more cocky, a little
Yeah.
more, think he's got everything going for him,
But
which he does.
There was one point in the movie where he did remind me a lot of Lando from the original trilogy, and
Yeah.
that was the part where it's not really a
Sure.
spoiler, when they first introduced the Millennium Falcon and it's impounded, and so he has to get it out.
Yes.
His mannerisms, the way he's talking, the way he pronounces the words,
Oh, okay.
that was straight up Billy D. Williams from Cloud
Okay.
City. But then the rest of the movie wasn't that.
Right.
It was like the way he was talking, the way his mannerisms. I felt like I didn't see enough of him like to get that whole thing.
Maybe that's true.
Because he was only like in a total of like what, not even half of the movie.
No, he's probably in
25-30% of it.
Yeah,
maybe.
it's
because he
pretty
leaves in one part and dips out, and then you see him again, and then he dips
That
out.
part
and
was
it's like,
fun. The ending dip out was great.
yeah,
Oh
It
yeah.
was just, I don't know.
And once again, I don't think it's bad. You know what? I think it is because I had way low expectations for the actor who plays Han. Like
Yeah.
See,
way low.
I just didn't even picture him as Han Solo.
See, I
Like
did.
that's how I got through the movie because, you're taking one of the most iconic actors and characters. If you really ask most Star Wars fans,
Sure.
they like Han Solo more than they like Luke Skywalker.
Well, he's more charismatic and more.
That's what I'm
likable
saying. And
not
you're
as
going to
whiny.
try to tell his story, and it's just, I just had a hard time. If this was a standalone movie, I think it'd be a lot better, but you're trying to just go back and
Right.
make something. I just didn't feel like it was good.
Yeah.
And where, you have Donald Glover playing Lando, he's not in the movie much, but this was
I know.
based around him. And I know they're trying to give him a love story and everything like that, but you're just not used to that with this character, and it was just really weird.
The love story was really weird in this one because officially when they first announced the characters, one of the characters, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Val.
Yeah.
Her character, the way she looked, I'm not entirely sure if it's the same character because of the name and stuff, but the way she looked, a lot of people thought that was Han's love interest. Because if you actually go to the extended universe before
the comics,
if you actually go to the comics before Disney bought it, the girl that Han Solo was his ex-wife that shows up. In one of the things,
they redid that story in the comics.
Yeah, they redid it, and so in this one, some people saw it. Some people were going, "Oh, they're going with that storyline." And then it changed.
I love Tandy Newton.
Yeah,
I didn't know she was in it, and I'm thick into Westworld right now. Oh, I love her. But yeah, so I have a question. This is without spoiling it. So you liked Lando, and you think it was an okay movie, right?
Yeah, I mean,
is it because of the cameo at the end? Did that sway you?
You know what's funny? The very end of the movie is actually why I hated it more.
What?
Because of
what?
The main reason why, and trying really not hard to spoil this.
I know.
But it's such a big part is they left it open-ended, and that was a terrible idea because we already know that it's so hard.
I know.
We already know that person's ending.
Sure.
Yes.
And then the other person, we know nothing about her.
Hey.
And it's like, we have all these other movies. Why couldn't they just leave it as a standalone and just close it off and wrap it up with a nice little bow? Just kind of like Rogue One. They were like, hey, this is it. We're doing once and it's over.
Well, that's because with Rogue One, they were telling a story of people that everyone died.
Yeah, but they get it. They get this so close to the Tridge.
Yeah, well,
that it's
actually not that close. It's 10 years away. The original one is like 10 years away. He's supposed in the original one, Han Solo is 10 years older than he is now. And I hope because they did this movie. I think it's pretty much official that they're going to do the Lando movie, and I hope they do another Solo movie, and I hope that they end it right when him and Chewie walk into the cantina. Like, that's the end scene of them going into the cantina to meet Obi-Wan. I hope it. That would be great. That would be an awesome way to end it.
And if they are making an Obi-Wan movie,
which
like
they
say they are, right? Then the ending cameo and things that happened in Han would link it to that one.
That would
because
be fun.
know that specific character is going to pop up in Obi-Wan.
But do you feel that they can sustain making all these movies?
Because
now actually, since you brought that up, so domestically it made 110.
They were projecting this movie for the opening weekend to make $150 million.
So domestically, it only made 110.
But to them, that's not good.
Right.
All I'm ignorant a little bit about the numbers too, but they care. Like Star Wars and the heads of Star Wars, they care that they're not hitting these projections. And I'm going to do the comparison.
And foreign, it only made 69.
Yeah. So
this is really interesting. Go through all like the numbers comparing like the most recent Star Wars movies.
Okay, so we got I'm going to do 4 of the movies opening weekends. So I'm going to go most profitable to least profitable, and that's. Let's see, opening weekend was... So, The Force Awakens, obviously, opening weekend made $148,000. Or $248,000 opening weekend.
Is that million?
245
million. Sorry. And then The Last Jedi, $220 million. Rogue One, $151 million. And then Solo is $84 million. That's a steep drop off, and that's
considering that's kind of a bomb.
That's half of what Rogue One made, and I think I liked Rogue One, and I think this is hands down better than Rogue One. Literally, hands are down right now. Better than Rogue One.
Rogue One, I just didn't like the main character. She really fell flat for me, but. They were coming off of such a hype with Force Awakens.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody was recharged. And this was something I wanted to ask Chris and the rest of you guys. do you feel they're putting out too much too fast?
I feel they're not putting out the right stuff yet.
Right.
It's like, for example, okay, so one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that Han Solo was actually a marketing platform for Galaxy's Edge for Disneyland. They actually mention Disneyland's Galaxy Edge in the movie. There's an actual character that actually talks about this thing called like Blackport, which is actually the name of the land that's going to be in Disneyland. So it's kind of one of those things that I think Disney was kind of like hoping the projections was going to be okay, because on May 29th of next year, Galaxy's Edge opens and everybody's going to go see it. So I feel like right now we're at that lull point where like this movie comes out, everybody's been like, oh, it's a Star Wars movie, it didn't hit what it was, and then Star Wars Land opens, and then the next movie is going to be the 9th movie, which is the last in the Skywalker,
Quote,
and it's going to go right back up. Then the Boba Fett one, and then you're going to see this dip again. You know what I mean? So it can sustain itself. It's just Disney needs to figure out how to do it properly, because I feel like a lot of the PR that this was getting while it was being made caused these numbers. Because you fire the directors halfway through. There was even word in January that Disney was was predicting this exact thing that happened. That it was not going to make it. Like they came out and was like, "Oh, this movie is going to be a disaster." They're bracing for the worst.
Sure.
Yeah, like
you
there
say
was
that.
even like rumors of Alden Ehrenreich of like having acting lessons because they said like he couldn't pull off Solo or being Han Solo and how hard it was for him.
Right, and then all of a sudden they have all these these interviews right before the movie comes out, and Harrison Ford is holding him in high praise, and it's like they're doing damage control. It's like you do that. You do that to yourself. Yeah, you do that. You do that to yourself. Yeah. This is what's gonna happen.
Because originally he didn't want them to make the movie.
Right.
Harrison Ford was like, no, I don't want them to rehash this character.
And then they're like, sorry, we own the character.
Well, no, I heard that, and then I also heard from a friend, which I don't exactly know whether it was true or not, but if it does sound like something that Disney would put on a table and talk about, and then take it off right away. But one of the rumors was that they were initially thinking about going the whole Governor Tarkin on this, where they were going to basically do a younger version of Harrison Ford on the person's face entire movie, because it worked so well in Rogue One. But it was going to be. It was going to be so expensive that they were just like, nah. Like as soon as that idea came up, they're just like, it's not there yet. We can't make a main character the entire film.
I don't think people would have accepted that. It would have looked so weird.
And
younger CGI.
And Tarkin wasn't in the whole movie.
He wasn't.
He was in maybe 10 minutes, I would say, of a complete on-screen time of that character.
Exactly.
What was that movie they did with Bruce Willis and he's like a time jumper and they did
Face Off.
Not Face Off.
Looper?
Is it Looper?
Yeah. Looper.
Yeah, and remember they kind of changed his face.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
But they did prosthetics.
Yeah.
That'd be the only thing you could really do that maybe would.
And then he's been dead the whole time, right?
No. The ship sinks.
Oh, okay.
What's funny, you should say that's the guy who did The Last Jedi. What's the director's name?
Aaron.
Nope.
Oh no. The Last Jedi.
Sorry, I put you on the spot.
Ryan Johnson.
Yeah.
Yes. He directed Looper.
He's Looper Boy.
Yeah.
Looper Boy.
Yeah, he's Looper Boy.
He's actually a very okay. People give either good or bad reviews for The Last Jedi for their own reasons and stuff. He is a very good director at weaving a movie that you watch 5 years later and you go, holy crap, I didn't see that.
And he's really good.
He's very, very good at writing subtext that make people go, what the hell? Because he did his homework. Everything that everybody has a problem with in The Last Jedi, majority of people, like the whole Leia flying to the sky, all the stuff like that.
That I know.
All of that stuff is in canon. And it's existed for years. And it's been in the animated TV show. It's been there. It's been shown before, just not on a major screen. So when people who don't know about canon watch this, they're just like, what the heck is this crap?
I thought he was I love that movie. I thought that movie was amazing.
And he's really good at taking other directors' ideas and just shitting all over.
It's like, oh, you wanted to do this? Okay, well, bam, I'm going to kill this character off.
Rey's parents are nobody. F you.
Yeah, but the whole. Have you heard about what they're doing in the next one? Supposedly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently they can take that one out.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want.
Well,
Yeah,
they introduced time travel now into Star Wars universe.
This is true. They
So
did
now
at the end of Rebels.
Cable's
Yeah.
gonna come in, and
The Cable's gonna pop in with his device, and then he's gonna hand it off to Rey, and
the
she's gonna
worst.
push it, and then it's bam, Rey versus Darth Maul.
Yeah,
that's
there you
how
go.
it's gonna happen.
Turn the gun up.
I would
Turn the
love
gun
see
up
Darth
to
Maul
11.
again.
Spinal Tap shows up.
Yeah.
Nobody's making it through with their cucumbers.
It's
in
just
their
gonna be an
pockets.
all-out war, just
Oh,
all the
man.
Sith, and then all the Jedi, and then like
Yeah.
smack
that'd
dab
be
in the middle
fun.
is gonna be Chuck Norris.
Is he gonna have a lightsaber?
No, but he's gonna snap his fingers like Thanos and just kind of.
He'll have the Infinity Gauntlet. I like it.
Chuck Norris doesn't need a lightsaber.
The roundhouse saber.
Yeah.
It cauterizes as it kicks.
Yeah, I mean, overall, the movie was all right. It's just, I wish they would go forward, and I've said this for a long time. I just wish they'd kind of quit going to these backstories and go.
Never gonna get your wish.
Yeah.
I did like how they treated the Millennium Falcon, how they made it they made it pristine and beautiful and pretty.
You like the?
And then they showed how it got so jacked up to the point to where he had to rebuild it.
What do you think about the front
junk.
part?
I thought at first I was like,
Because
"Oh, that
Disney
looks weird."
spoiled that with the Legos.
Yeah, they spoiled that with the Legos, but I didn't really pay attention to the Legos. So
Okay.
I kind of guessed for myself. I honestly thought that compartment was going to be the thing that Jabba the Hutt was pissed at Han Solo for. Because he said you dropped your shipment.
That
I
would've
honestly
been
thought it
funny.
was going to be that.
That
And then
would've
when
been
they did what they did in the movie and got rid of that part, I was like, oh, okay. So I guess it happens a different way.
It's funny.
All right.
It was cool to see the ship brand new.
Yeah,
It was fancy.
You know, one of the things I wonder though about this movie is that we all have our opinions from there's different generations have different opinions of Star Wars and
Right.
whatnot, and I just who was this movie made for? Do you guys think? I don't feel like that. I feel like this was made probably more for kids who maybe to just try and teach kids about who Han Solo is and whatnot. I don't think they put this out to try and satisfy old school fans because you're never going to, as the tomato meter has shown us. What did it get? What was the?
It got a 71 for
the critics, right?
and 67, I think, for audience.
63 for the
63.
audience.
But
they had to know they weren't going to make old school Star Wars fans happy when they put this
I don't know
out.
but then why did they put all the Easter eggs and all the references?
Yeah,
they did that for the old the new fans
Right.
don't know the Easter eggs and
Right.
references. It's the old fans.
Agreed.
And I think it's just we talked about it before. We talked about it before this show today, and we talked about it in previous shows. Star Wars fans are the worst. They really. And I'm a Star Wars fan.
man.
They are the worst fans. They can never have something nice.
After Last Jedi,
Yes.
after the last, I'm done. That's it. Star Wars fans,
No, and that's
I'm
the thing
spooling
is,
up.
after Last Jedi, it tainted me. I was ready to hate this movie, but I had fun with it. I had a lot of fun just being I wasn't expecting anything from this movie.
Yeah, but think how hard it is to be a Star Wars fan because what happened is they came out with the Tridge.
right?
And then years had passed and people had done all this canon,
the novels and everything.
The novels and everything, and it built this universe into something amazing.
Right.
And then they come out with the prequels, and the prequels just bomb. And everybody's like, all right, whatever. We still have this amazing universe that the fans we built and is all canon. And then Disney comes in and throws all of that away and says none of that is canon.
Which now they kind of just recycled
what
it
they're
into new
doing-
storylines.
Yeah.
Well, they're picking and choosing
Right.
of what they want. And Rebels was great. And I know a lot of you in here don't watch it. I don't know if
I've
you
seen
have.
it, yeah.
Rebels was so great of picking all the great things and making them canon again. And I feel that besides the original trilogy, that is Star Wars to me. Rebels is so great of building a character and making you care about all these things that are going on. And it's like, if they could make, a series like that, I mean, that's what Star Wars is to me. And, a lot of people get upset because there's not a lot of, there's not a lot of lightsabers. There's not a lot of this. There's not a lot of that. But if you can get past the cartoon aspect of Rebels,
Well, yeah, if you just care about
that's Star Wars.
if you want
Yeah.
if you want a good
In and out.
story,
Yeah.
Without, I mean, yeah, it's if we're gonna go down to basics, it's a kid show, but it's a very good. It is.
I know, but it's on the borderline.
I know.
How do
Yeah.
you feel being a kid show?
It is
technically-
it is a very good outlet for people to bring in, for adults to kind of like learn things and figure out what's canon, what's not canon in the form of a kids show, but it doesn't feel like a kids show when you're listening to what they're talking about.
No, yeah,
You know what I mean?
It takes itself serious enough while being silly enough. Like it has a good balance.
Yeah, because in the beginning seasons, it was definitely a lot more campy.
Right.
And towards the end, it got pretty, like, serious.
See, I feel like Solo would have been completely different if they would have gotten Ron Howard to do 100% of it.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, Ron Howard, love him or hate him, he's the closest person that we are going to get to the idea of the original Star Wars trilogy. And the reason I say that is, let me
Because
explain.
he's old.
Well, he worked with George Lucas before Star Wars. He was an American Graffiti.
Yeah, you're right.
So he's known George Lucas and all of them for years. So you think about it, he knew George Lucas around the time he was making Star Wars. So if he's been friends with him, he's known him for years, he would be the person that would be able to tap back into that from the 1970s.
Just tap it in.
And be able to do that. And when you look at people talking about it, like, hey, you see 80% of his film and then 20% of the previous directors.
Right.
So there's like, I feel like somewhere in there that 20% kind of jolted the other 80%
Yeah, messed
and
with it.
made it not feel right. And then plus he had to go back and reshoot stuff. He didn't have as much creative control as if he was in pre-production.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, I feel
And
like
he's walking into somebody else's story. And
exactly. You know what I mean? Like, he has creative control, but with Disney, you only have so much control. Like they hold the reins to everything.
No, it's true.
It doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter who you are.
And that's why the Lego boys got fired, because they wanted to do a lot of improv comedy, and you can't do that in a Disney Star Wars universe.
No.
You can't.
No.
Like, it just the higher ups just won't let you, obviously, because that's why they got fired. Like,
Yeah.
it's not. This isn't your fun improv group that you take on the road. This is a $1 billion franchise. You can't just
Yeah, and they
wing it.
You know, they have huge plans for Star Wars and to keep it going and building, but this is just one misstep. It's not going to be anything. You know, you're going to look back at this and be like, yeah, whatever. It's just, it seems like the side stories just, I don't know, aren't as good to me as the, you know, actual movies. I'm excited for the next trilogy after this.
Yeah.
Of a whole new group of people.
Which is Ryan Johnson's trilogy.
Which is awesome because I like him.
Yeah,
I think he would be really good
And-
at something brand new.
And I'm excited about Resistance, the Jon Favreau.
The Johnny
Yes.
Favs. Yeah.
his show, because his show is actually the first. It's not the first, but
Isn't
it's-
that the live action?
his is actually not the live action one. His is
the new animated
is the
one.
new
Oh,
animated one.
yeah.
Oh no, is it the live action one?
No, I thought.
Oh no,
I
it
can't
is the
remember.
live
It's
action.
the live action
Yeah,
one.
And there
the other
is-
one.
Yeah.
There
and then
is
the
a-
other, they're
there-
doing another one, right?
Yeah, there is a new animated movie
Yeah.
after or show
Yeah.
that's going to be post Rebels. Nothing to do with Rebels, and it does.
I think it's going to
This
tie
one-
in Rebels.
Well, the timeline is closer to the new series of movies. I don't know if that.
Yeah,
ties
that
in
and
with Rebels.
it's anime. It's actually drawn in the sense of
Oh,
anime.
really?
Yeah. So actually, like I think that's one of those extra things of like bringing
So
other
Yeah,
fans.
trying to bring other fans into the
Right.
realm of the show.
So I
thi-
think overall
yeah.
we're giving it a meh.
I'm giving it
I'm
a Hardly
saying-
Hero seal of approval. This was not the
Oh,
worst
is it?
movie ever. This was watchable and it was good.
I'm
You know,
lukewarm on
they
it.
did
I
do
get it,
some
Luke.
things
I see
that
what
we
you did
we actually haven't brought up yet. It's like I thought like the Han and Chewie relationship and
Oh, yeah.
how they met and just kind of like seeing them get to know each other and stuff. I thought that was done well. That was something that was going to be important to me. Is just, you know, those two are just they're just, you know, Han and Chewie, you know what I mean? It's like it's
Yeah.
like that. It's you. That's something that they needed to do well, and I thought they did. And then also like just besides just plot lines and all of that kind of stuff, and get super deep into it. Some of the things that I really look for when I go to watch a new Star Wars movie is I just like to see the cool technologies and things like that, or just like the new machines and stuff that they're going to have in there. And like there's a whole big long train scene, and just the way that train is put together, and kind of how it rides that single rail and just sort of like would move across the mountains and things. I thought that was really neat to watch.
I did like that. I'm where I'm being critical is the overall story of it all.
Yeah.
And I get it. There was really cool stuff in it, and that's what kept you going.
Yeah.
I just
Especially
thought the story.
My wife said that the relationship between Han and Chewie is like the best love story there possibly could be. It's better than Twilight, because it's like that's like a bromance right there. It's
I love it. I love it. I love how she put that too. That's
she's like she was even telling me that on the drive home. She was like, that's like the best thing of that movie, and I'm like, yeah, okay. Like it is pretty cool.
The one funny thing I didn't expect, and it makes sense because Han can speak Wookiee, is that he just was speaking, and he was speaking it so like ugly and like it sounded bad when he was speaking it to Chewie, but it was so
funny.
funny.
It showed that he
Yeah,
was
but it's
speaking
supposed
it.
to be.
He was he was trying, man. He was trying to speak it, but yeah. So
You know,
Did you guys notice the Easter eggs from Indiana Jones?
I
There's
didn't.
2.
What?
Yes. So the first one, my wife kind of talked about it. She kind of noticed it. And then the other one, I noticed it on my own. So there's 2 of them. So the first one is the crystal skull. There's a giant crystal skull in the Voss's guy's place. If you actually watch the movie, and you can see it in some of the promotional stuff, there's a big-ass skull. And it's supposed to be in reference of the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull from Indiana Jones.
No way. That's funny.
So there's that one. And then the other one is when that big-ass monster gets sucked into that black hole.
Yeah.
The way it disintegrates and falls apart is reminiscent of the guy's face melting off.
That's
In the
that's
original Indiana
bitchin'.
Jones.
I
Yeah, so
like
it's pretty
that.
cool. And I'm pretty sure there's more of them, but it's like, I for me, Han Solo is like that vase that you get at your wedding day.
Vase.
The vase that you get at your wedding day.
got nothing.
That you're just like, oh, this is nice. Thank you. And then like down the road, you find use for it, and you notice that it starts to grow on you, and you really like it. So it's like one of those things where it's just like, if you like it or you hate it, down the road, look back at it in a couple years and look at the context of it. Then you'll be like, okay, it was a good movie, or it was a bad movie. That kind of thing. That's the way I look at it.
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
You know, they gave me something that I really like to see in Star Wars whenever a cool new explosion sound.
Yeah.
Or just some kind of a new, like in Last Jedi, there was the Lightspeed kamikaze.
Woo!
Was
Yes.
awesome. Or even, I think it's
That was.
I want to say it's in Clone Wars, where they have those grenades that are like sonic grenades or something, I think they're called, where they shoot out and it goes silent and it almost sounds like the sound is
The
being
sonic
sucked in.
boom one.
Yeah,
The one
like the
that-
sound's being sucked
right.
in and then it explodes. So this one, they had another really just like, there's a cool explosion to look out for. Just like how it looks and the way it sounds and everything. It's really,
And
it
you
was really
realize
neat.
why space travel is so dangerous in Star
Yeah.
Wars. They finally answer that question as to why is a hyperdrive so dangerous?
Yeah. You're like, I get it now.
I get it now. I get it why that kamikaze in The Last Jedi messed up that
Oh,
many
dude,
ships.
that was so cool.
All right, so we got some emails to get through and some things here. So are we giving it a shating?
I'm giving it a shating. Shating.
I'll shating it.
Come on.
Giving
I'll give
a
it.
I'll shating it.
Shut.
a shut.
Shut.
I told you I'm lukewarm on
Whatever.
the movie.
You know what? Do you want your money back?
God.
Was it a fun Star Wars experience?
I think it was fun.
It was
You know,
fun.
There you go.
Good
enough. It was good enough.
It was good.
It was good.
I think
Man.
any other character, I'd be like, oh, all right.
It was
that
fun. Yeah.
I don't know
No,
if you guys know, I've
no,
been called
no.
Han Solo.
No one
No.
calls
That's
you
my
that.
nickname.
No one calls you that.
I got an action figure and was like, and
Okay.
I've been called Bro Solo. Han Brolo.
I can't even respond to this. Like,
Because
there.
you know it's true.
No, because it's so ridiculous. Ugh. All right. Can I get to the email, please?
Yes, you may.
All right. We have an email.
Oh, yes.
One email from our good friend, Jay Jackal.
Shay Jacquel.
You know what? I'm glad he stayed with us through the transition. It makes me happy to know that our fans are staying with us.
Yeah, nobody else said anything.
Well, no, nobody.
It's been a ghost town.
Not even Brandon.
I know.
No emails from him.
No, goat kicks.
Nope. No Curtis. Nothing. Whatever. So the email goes, thank God. No more Blanny. If I had to hear another episode about Labyrinth, I was gonna stop listening. Well, you still
got
have
your
one
wish,
Labyrinth
yeah.
fan on the show, and that's me. Do you like Labyrinth?
I do like Labyrinth.
Yeah.
What's there not to
Wi-Fi.
like about Labyrinth?
Bing. Me and Logan have never done a Wi-Fi
That
before.
was. I had. Did you have? I had a little.
I felt a tingle.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know, so not to deal. We missed an opportunity actually not that long. Labyrinth played
I
at the
know.
Arden Cinemark.
I know.
It was the week after Infinity War. Though. We were all so burnt. I wanted to kidnap Buddy and take him so bad.
He even called me and was like, "Hey, you know it's playing tonight."
Oh, that's
Next
okay.
time. Sorry, continue.
I get kicking the male nanny off the show, but bringing in a female nanny, a fanny, girls are dumb.
This is reference to Bird, who was on the
I
show
know.
last week.
Girls don't know nothing about comics and superheroes. Oh man.
Oh man, he's gonna get some.
I'm gonna call the new host Fanny Bird. She's not a host. She helped out for a week and she's not a host. But don't call her Fanny Bird.
Fanny Bird.
That's not no. Maybe Fanny Bird. So R.I.P. Blanny. May you never be a guest on the show.
Wow,
That's harsh.
That is harsh.
Hey Sprinkles, you still working out or are you still fat?
Yes.
Yes to both. I wonder if your belly is as big as Buddy's head. No, it
No.
will never be that big.
No, absolutely not.
Love Jay Jackal.
I don't know about that.
So yeah, and we don't have any iTunes reviews or anything. We got one, but it was just a 5-star. No comment.
Yeah.
We appreciate those too. I just don't have anything to read.
Yeah.
No iTunes reviews. I do have a comment from YouTube actually for the
Oh,
Metal Art Comic Con
yeah.
video.
Did you get a chance to see those, Chris? Did you
Not
hear
yet.
about those?
I have not got a chance to do that.
peek.
I've been working so hard lately. I haven't even been a chance to actually sit down and watch stuff.
I don't know if you know, but
Oh,
you
no.
know, me and Mindy Sterling,
Yeah,
might
I
become
saw.
an
I
item.
saw that. I
Might
saw
become
that.
an item.
Yeah, I saw that.
Sterling.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but somebody posted on my Facebook that Dave actually posted on my Facebook. He's like, "This is where you're gonna go on your honeymoon," and it was the Sterling Inn.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Nice.
I want pictures.
So we just it was Saturday last week or the week before.
Yeah,
Anyway, there's
Saturday
a video up that we put together of kind of a little it's like a 15-minute yearbook recap sort of thing of the con and the panels and stuff. That's up on YouTube. If you search Hardly Heroes Meadowlark if you just on Google, you'll be able to find it. But
And
anyway,
just
we
search
got
Hardly Heroes. It'll take you to our page.
that'll do it. So the comment was, "Thank you so much for helping with this Comic-Con and giving it a voice.
You're welcome.
It was very fun, and I can't wait for next year."
Woo!
That was from Shayla, who was, you remember the girl who was dressed up as Brave the whole day?
Yes.
Merida? That was her. She was killing
Oh,
it.
dude. She
all day.
crushed it,
That's fun.
dude, and she never broke character.
Really?
It was awesome.
She had the Scottish accent the whole
Yeah.
time and everything.
It was so good.
Yeah,
Oh,
she was there for a lot of panels and was asking questions and
That's
stuff.
fun.
She was cool.
She was definitely high up on my list.
Oh, I was
for,
like, okay, I wouldn't recommend slandering people saying they're on
for
drugs
the,
or something. She was high as a
for
kite.
the costume contest.
Oh, yeah.
because she just always was in character, and I
Yeah.
think that's awesome.
Right.
That's
That's
good.
those
That
are the
is
things.
actually
It's hard to how you're gonna judge it, but yeah, she did. She was in it the whole day long.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
shout out to Allison, the Pink Ranger from Lightspeed Rescue.
Yep.
She posted us on her Instagram and told everybody to go out and watch the YouTube
Look
video.
at that.
Oh,
I love
thank
it.
you. Very nice.
Well, sorry.
Sorry,
go
no, go ahead.
we have news and stuff, but I think we can push that until next week.
I think we can. But you know what? There is something that we do need to do actually, though. So if you guys remember, our friend Chris, who's here with us today,
this Chris.
bought
Oh,
tickets. Bought tickets to the Hardly Heroes
yeah.
Avengers Infinity
Yes.
War
Oh, yeah.
opening weekend fan experience, and had a scheduling conflict and was
Yeah.
unable. to
I
be
was
with
not
us.
able to go. I was actually in Los Angeles.
Oh dear.
Work-
He
So-
just didn't want to hang out with Aaron.
This is I
know.
mean, who does?
Now that you're here today,
Oh, this is
here
awesome.
are your special custom
Oh,
prints
this is so cool. This is going up in my office.
oh
Yes!
man.
Tell you that
Hardly
right
Heroes
now.
and Infinity War theme prints.
Yeah.
Those are what do we get? Maybe like 200 of
200.
those printed. That's it.
That's
Yep.
pretty cool.
That's it.
That's awesome.
so
And as
super
well,
ugly. painted those for us.
That's
Drew
really
it-
cool.
Drew it.
We
Done.
have-
Drew it,
Painted.
yeah. What did I say?
Painted.
Painted. He
We-
uses watercolor.
Oh,
we
well,
also
yeah.
have your gift bags
All right,
Yeah.
gift
as
bags.
well. One for you and one for your wife.
All right,
You got to crack at least one of those.
Yeah, I was
open.
I'm gonna
about to
crack
say-
open mine because I'm gonna let her. I'm gonna
Yeah,
let her
you
open
gotta let
hers.
her
The
enjoy
Thanos,
it.
the Thanos patch is still not surfaced
No,
that I
no,
know
no.
of.
There's a
Ooh.
Thanos patch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we
There's-
had a art cave
All
treasures.
right. Okay, so Daredevil. Nice. I was actually talking about this movie with my dad.
And
the
yeah,
other
no,
day.
it's not the season 1 of the Netflix
No,
Daredevil.
this is
No.
the this
This
is
Ben
the,
Affleck.
the Ben Affleck Daredevil.
Thank you, Dimple, for the
Yes.
movie.
Yes, thanks, Dimple.
This is awesome.
Dimps.
That's so cool.
It's
Ooh,
a geek,
$5
$5
All
off
right.
geek deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh, which speaking of which, the first XL is coming
Just
like
ship.
next week.
Just shipped.
I'm pumped.
Ooh, got the
Yeah.
Infinity
Oh yeah,
Gauntlet
custom
soap.
Infinity Gauntlet soap.
All right.
Don't
That
eat.
we
That's
had
not candy.
commissioned.
Not
That's
candy.
soap.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's
candy.
not-
Okay.
it's
not
I will-
candy.
We had
Well,
that
it's not
commissioned by Geeky Clean.
And then this is an Avengers soap.
Yep.
Yes.
Nice.
Also
Which
from
it
Geeky
actually works. I had to use my Avengers soap.
Oh, this is pretty cool. What the heck is this?
Oh, it's a keychain by
Birdie and Bean.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's actually
Wait,
really cool.
Can we say that again without talking? We all said it over
Okay,
each
all right.
other.
Say one at a time.
Birdie and Bean.
Oh, I thought Birdie and
Bean?
Yeah, so
Anywho,
it's a
That's really cool.
keychain.
Oh, you got Thor
thing.
Hawkeye.
That's actually pretty
Ooh,
cool.
Yeah.
like
And
it.
Captain America.
Oh, I didn't see Cap.
Oh, got a little cap.
Yeah, got a little cap in
I like Hawkeye on Hawkeye. The Hawkeye one is
you got anything else in there? Those bags had a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here.
a little.
Oh, nice little of a couple
Pamphlet.
episodes of our show.
couple
Nice.
means
The
2.
front.
That's like 10.
Oh, sorry.
I'm
10
just saying. You said a
episodes.
couple.
And I got
Oh,
Promotion
promotion
Oh,
for
for-
Powerhouse.
Excellent segue, Chris.
See?
Thank you very
Oh,
much.
Bam.
So to remind everybody, as Chris finishes opening up his bag and going through all of the lovely marketing materials in there,
Yeah, that's about
Hardly Heroes will be at the Powerhouse Comic Con in
Yup.
Pleasanton, California on July 28th. We're going to be hosting the panels again there. It's alien themed panels. So we got Christopher and Carrie Henner and Newt's brother,
Oh my God,
Rico
I'm so excited
Ross,
for that.
who's Private
snap.
Frost, Cynthia Scott, who's Corporal Dietrich, as well as some other good guests, actually. So do you guys know who Vernon Wells is?
He's from.
He's Wes in The Road Warrior, and
Yeah.
he was also Bennett in Commando. You remember the bad
Oh,
guy
snap.
in Commando?
Yeah.
The chainmail?
Yeah.
I cannot wait to ask
I'm more
him what he
excited
thought
about
the
Road
first time he
Warrior
put that
because I
chainmail
love
on.
Road Warrior.
I've never seen Road Warrior
What?
or Commando.
You got what about 2 months to get up?
I know.
2
I
months
will
to get
I
up
gotta
and get it
brush
done.
up.
brush it.
All right.
And that's it. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, thanks for coming by, being on the show, Chris. This
Hey,
is
thank
awesome.
you,
It's
thank you
you're
for
always
having me.
you're always welcome. You're always fun to have on. So.
Thank you. Appreciate
and
it.
we're really looking forward to both of your premieres.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
So where can they find us?
no, where
can they
Chris.
find him?
Yeah, Chris.
So you can find me on violettefilms.com,
nice.
which is
Yep.
VIOLETTE films.com.
And
Yeah.
remind us how we can submit for the film
So
festival
for the
again?
you can actually go on to violettefilms.com. There is a link, or you can go to the violettfilmfestival.com, same spelling, but
Nice.
for Violet. And there's an actual link that takes you straight to Film Freeway for submitting automatically.
Nice.
Or you can go on Film Freeway and then just type in Violet Film Festival, or you can look us up on Facebook, or you can look us up on YouTube. We pretty much you can type us in Google. I think we pop up in Google right on
Nice.
the top. So you
that's
can just
great.
type in Violet Films in Google, and we should pop up stuff. But
Very
yeah,
nice.
yeah. And then all of our premiere stuff, all of our information and stuff will be on our website as we go up.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron, where can they find us?
Let's see. They can email the show, hardlyheroes@gmail.com.
Yeah, maybe we'll get more people.
Maybe voicemails, emails, anything. Just send it over. If you want to make a meme, send it over. Send it. I don't care. Just send me something.
Mm-hmm.
Tasteful nudes. I don't care.
Full news.
Tasteful. And then Facebook at Hardly Heroes. Instagram at Hardly Heroes. Twitter at Hardly Heroes. There it is. Please go on iTunes. Please write a review. 5 stars if maybe just do 5 stars.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've.
It helps
got
the
to read a
it
review.
helps the show grow, and we need the help. So thank
Yeah,
you.
You know, or if you're not an iThingy user, get on Podbean.
Yeah.
Podbean's better in a lot of ways too. Subscribe, comment there as well.
Please, please,
Yeah.
please. All right.
Will do.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know how to end the show now. I'm so lost.
I know, we're still working on getting the soundboard.
I don't have
put back
we don't have the
together.
button, and we don't have the.
Well, you guys have a good night.
Later.
All right, later. Take
Bye.
it easy.
Bye. Bye.